Today's episode of the BizWad, we talk about 10 skills that will make or break your business. Right, so today we were talking about the 10 things that'll make or break your affiliate. So to start, I want to kind of jump back to the level 1 handbook. One of the ways that Coach defines fitness is the 10 general physical skills. So cardiorespiratory endurance, strength, stamina, flexibility, power, speed, coordination, agility, balance, and accuracy. Now, I don't think he came up with this. I think he actually borrowed this from the guys who invented Dynamax. Nonetheless, basically, Coach says that you are as fit as you are competent in each of these 10 general areas. I think that he laid out a great foundation and structure which to evaluate your own business as well, because your business is no different. Your business is its own organism, and it is as strong as it is competent in these 10 general areas that we're going to go through right now. All right, so first on the list is self-assessment. So how well do we evaluate ourselves in relation to how we deliver our product and service to our community? So if we think we're amazing communicators, but our community out there thinks that we're really doing a poor job, that's a disconnect and a vulnerability of the business. We really need to make sure that we're doing a good job of evaluating ourselves objectively, and that we have some checks and balances in that to make sure that there aren't huge disconnects. All right, number 2, long-term vision and values. When we meet with our clients, one of the first questions we always ask them is, what are your goals? Like, what do you want to accomplish in the gym? It's super important to ask ourselves the same thing. What do we want this business to be? What is our long-term goal? I think this is a step that a lot of affiliate owners are skipping over, but it's a big opportunity there to really intentionally build your business. And the values piece of this, I think it's important to communicate to your team and to your community values that you find important. It's going to help align everyone and really set the tone for the community. So it's important to have very clear values. All right, number 3 is communication. This is important in both your marketing, your internal communication with your team. It's important in just communicating the day-to-day operation of the business to your clients and to your coaches. It's an area that we should put some time in to make sure that we're communicating as clearly as we can to everyone within our organization. Next is leadership. I think it's important to measure this on an ongoing basis so that we know how well our team thinks that we're leading. In a future episode, I'll cover the best way to handle this and make sure that you're getting good feedback. Next is community. So how strong is your community? Is this the best hour of their day? Are people enjoying their time at the gym? Are they referring friends? That's very, very important to have a successful business, is that word of mouth and that referral program. If we're not doing things to actively build our community and really make sure that that's the backbone of the organization, then we're setting ourselves up for some vulnerability. In a future episode, I'll go over some of the best practices about getting that feedback about how strong your community is. So keep an eye out for that. Next, we have strength of your team. So how developed is your team? This can be just a measure of certifications and core competencies, making sure that we have all of the major areas. We have a subject matter expert in gymnastics and weightlifting. We have someone that anyone on our team can go to for nutrition or flexibility and mobility. All of the things that are going to be valuable to our membership base. We want to make sure that our team has all of those bases covered. And then we have coaching. So one of the main services that we're selling as CrossFit affiliates is coaching. So how well are your coaches doing just on a day-to-day basis? How do we manage classes? Are we making sure we get people in and out on time? Are people warmed up? Are we doing cool downs? Are we doing mobility? Are people getting results that they want? So these are all good measures that we'll hit later on. One of my favorite areas, systems and processes. What processes have we put in place? What systems do we have that ensure that everything that needs to happen in this gym gets done, and it gets done to the specification and standards that it needs to be done? So there are a lot of areas that this touches. You've got scheduling, billing and financial. You have evaluation, you have communication, you have marketing, you have a ton of systems and processes. And the key here is that all of the things that need to happen within the business have a very clear, documented process in place, such that I could just hand a sheet of paper to a new employee and the thing would get done in the way that I would want it done, on the timeline that I would want it done. So there are some things that we'll cover in the long run that are definitely going to address these systems. Next, it's important to assess ourselves and how well we execute. So we've set long-term goals, we've delegated them to the team. How well do we actually deliver the results? It's good to keep track of how well you're executing against the things that you think are important to the business. How well is the team executing their to-do list? Are we getting things done on time, on budget, and all of these things? Next is going to be your general business metrics. What is your lifetime value of your customer? What's your cash flow like? What's on your balance sheet? How much do you owe? Are you making sure your bills are being paid on time? What's your customer retention? All of these things that are the measure of a healthy affiliate. You should have a list of these things that you're evaluating on a regular basis, so that you can see if you're making progress, improving over time in these important areas. So I liken this to what we do in the gym every day. When we back squat, when we do Fran, we record our times, and so that we can make sure that the next time we do it, hopefully we've improved. It's amazing to me how many affiliates are out there that aren't checking the scoreboard on their business. So it's very important to have a comprehensive list of the things that you need to be paying attention to in your business that are really going to drive the needle. If you're not keeping track of these things and you're not measuring, you're really just playing a game without looking at the scoreboard. So to wrap up, guys, bringing this back to what Coach taught us about the 10 general physical skills, your business is as strong as it is competent in these 10 areas. So just like in the gym, areas where you're the weakest are your biggest opportunities for growth. So your homework for today is to assess your business on a scale of 1 to 10 for each of these areas of competency. You can create, subcategories if it's helpful for you. Take a look at the areas where you're weak, because this is probably where you can get the most return on investment for your effort. And your extra credit for this is to set a reminder in your calendar to reassess this every quarter. Create a recurring event every quarter, because this is what's going to help you over the long run improve in the areas where you're the weakest and make them your strengths.